Okay, in today's lesson, we are learning how to evaluate algebraic expressions. Our objective is I can evaluate algebraic expressions when multiplying and dividing. Looking at number 1, it says Paul makes $Z every hour that he babysits his neighbor's kid, Tim. So we learned that X represents a variable. Looking at part A, it says Paul babysits Tim for 2 hours on Friday night. Write an algebraic expression. So if we know that Tim babysat for 2 hours, but we do not know the amount of money that he makes per hour, we're going to represent that as Z. And this represents an algebraic expression. Looking at part B, it says evaluate the algebraic expression when Z equals 10. So in part A, we wrote our algebraic expression 2Z. Well, we now know the value of our variable, and we learned that when we know our value of our variable, we can substitute the value of our variable into the equation. And now since we're able to substitute, we are going to go 2 times 10, and 2 times 10 equals 20. And we were able to evaluate this expression because we knew the value of our variable. And evaluate simply means to solve when the value of our variable is known. Looking at part 2, it says Paul babysat Tim for Z hours on Saturday night, making $10. So we know that this represents a variable still. Looking at part A, it says Paul wants to save half his profit from Saturday. Write an algebraic expression. So we know that Paul babysits Saturday night for $10 for Z amount of hours, because we do not know the amount of hours that he worked. And however much money that he makes, he wants to save half of it. So we are going to divide by 2. And this is our algebraic expression. Looking at part B, it says evaluate the algebraic expression when Z equals 4. Evaluate still means to solve because we know the value of our variable. And since we know the value of our variable, we are going to substitute the value into our algebraic expression. So we had 10Z divided by 2, which when we substitute 4 in for our variable, it's now going to be 10 times 4 divided by 2, and then 10 times 4 equals 40, and then 40 divided by 2 equals 20. So Paul will save $20. Looking at practice 1, it says evaluate 8p when p equals 7. Evaluate 8p when p equals 7. We are going to substitute our 7 in for our p, making it 8 times 7, or you can also represent it 8 times 7. At this point, you can go ahead and pause the video and solve it and come back and find out the answer. Okay, 8 times 7, we are going to multiply, which equals 56. Looking at practice 2, it says evaluate 3z minus 14 when z equals 8. So our algebraic expression is 3z minus 14. We can substitute our variable in. At this point, you can go ahead and pause the video, finish out the problem, and come back and we will review if you have the right answer. We are going to substitute 8 in for z, so it would be 3 times 8 minus 14. We're going to multiply first, so 3 times 8 equals 24 minus 14. 24 minus 14 equals 10. Looking at problem 3, it says evaluate w divided by 10 when w equals 60. So our algebraic expression is w divided by 10. We are able to substitute 60 in for our variable, making the equation now 60 divided by 10. At this point, you may go ahead and pause the video, finish out the equation, and come back for the answer. $60 divided by 10 equals 6. Looking at practice 4, it says evaluate 4 divided by m divided by 4 minus 9 when m equals 36. So our algebraic expression is m divided by 4 minus 9. We can substitute 36 in for our variable. We can rewrite our expression now, making 36 divided by 4 minus 9. You may go ahead and pause the video, come back, and we will solve the answer. $36 divided by 4 minus 9. We're going to divide first, making 36 divided by 4, 9. And then finishing out the rest of the equation, subtracting 9 from 9. And 9 minus 9 equals 0.